everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Kris, and we are back in the garden again. And I'm very excited because we got a nice big haul, bunch of stuff, and so now I have to do a lot of work, so maybe I'm not that excited. But I am. Check out what we got. These are some very thorny, devilishly thorny blackberries that I was able to pick up from a friend, and I think there's a couple of raspberries in there as well. And then I picked up a little bit of lumber. Was able to get into Lowe's like right when they opened, and like there was like nobody in there, so that was fantastic. And I was able to pick up enough lumber that I should be able to build 3 more raised beds. And then my favorite part is I was able to get not 1 bag, not 2 bags, not even 3 bags, but a trunk full of compost. And so that is going to be lovely in the garden, because our compost is not ready yet. It's only been I think a couple weeks. So let's get to work. I think the first priority is going to be to plant these. Oh, and I forgot. And then we also were able to pick up some strawberries. So I think that they should be hardy enough to withstand whatever cold we've got left. Although we do have snow on the forecast for next week, so maybe I won't plant them just yet. But I am going to build a bed for them, and that's going to be right here. So there will be 2 beds here, one 6x3, and the other, right where the tripod is, will be 3x2. And I haven't figured out what exactly is going to go on each one, but I'll figure that part out later. First step is to get them built and filled, and then I'll worry about what goes where. But in the meantime, I think the first thing I need to do is get these blackberries in the ground to make sure that they're going to be okay. So the blackberries are all planted, and we've got thorny blackberry shrubby brambles strategically all over the entire house, basically, next to virtually every window on the ground floor. So my next mission, should I choose to accept it, and I do, is to turn this lumber into 3 raised garden beds. That's the plan. The first one I'm going to build is for the corn area. We cleared that out, I think last week. And right now it's just got like some cardboard and paper and some compost and leaves and just all sorts of stuff. Basically just to kill that area. And I'm going to fill the rest of the way with the compost we got in the car. And it should be a nice bed for the corn. And instead of 4x4, it's going to be 6x6, which will give us a little extra room to plant the 3 sisters, which I really wanted to do. You know, being Native American, it seemed like I really wanted to give a nod to their heritage. So we're going to do some butternut squash and either some peanuts or some pole beans. And then I also have some sunflowers, which I heard sunflowers do really well, corn does really well next to sunflowers. And so even though I was going to plant some sunflowers not too far away, I think I am going to throw just a couple of seeds in the mix there, and just to see if that helps the corn. So let's get to work. What's awesome is that these boards I'm going to use are actually 6 feet long, so I don't even have to cut them. I'm just going to, I'll probably measure just to be sure, but this doesn't have to be real precise for what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of tack these bad boys together. Let's get to work. Now to connect them, I have these squares. What are these, 2x2s? And what I'm going to do is basically just use this as kind of like my connector. So instead of screwing into end to end on these thinner panels at only 0.75 inches, 3/4 inch, that seems like a lot on that thin wood, I thought it'd be safer to just drill into this. And so I'll just use these as connectors, and this is, let me measure it. I want it to be, I'd like for these to be about probably 13 inches. You know, I could probably even go less than that. I could probably make them 11 or 12 inches. And the reason being is if these guys are 5.5, I'd like to have some up top because this is a bit shallow. My other beds are taller than this. And so I want to leave myself the option so that if it's like that, I can add a second board later if I want to. And I might want to do that, but right now I don't have enough compost for that. I don't know that it's necessary, so I'd rather leave this a little bit long so that I can add on to it if I want, and if I don't want, then I can just cut this off later or leave it like that or whatever. Doesn't matter. I can jump that bridge when I get to it. So I got 4 blocks, roughly 12 inches tall each, and then I got 4 planks, roughly 5.5 by 6 each. So all I'm going to do is connect like so. Bada bing, bada boom. So it's going to look like it's going to be this, and then this. And that's it. Nothing fancy here. But you see why I don't want to drill into that. I mean, that's just so thin. I don't want to risk the wood splitting. I don't think it'll be as strong. And then also, I don't know, this just seems better to me for a number of reasons, as far as the wood warping and such too. Just seemed a better option. So I'm going to go ahead, whoops, and just line that up with the bottom best I can. Drill a couple of pilot holes and slap this bad boy together. Zip. Beautiful. Have you ever seen such a beautiful thing before? I know I haven't. Look at that. Look at it. It's gorgeous. Let's continue on. Unfortunately, my battery died earlier, and I really just didn't want to stop what I was doing to charge up again and, you know, put the whole project on pause and all that to record. So, you might be seeing it in the background there, but I got 2 boxes finished. I changed the dimensions on one of them, so I wasn't able to build all 3, but that's fine. I'm much happier with this, so take a look. Here's the first. This is the 6x6 for the corn. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. I think this is a good size, especially considering the fact that my backyard's not exactly huge. I think that'll be a nice little crop. And I don't think this year I'm going to raise this up, but it does fit perfectly. I tested it out. But I think that might be something I'll do for next year. Or maybe I will build it up this year, but I don't think I want to get more compost. That's a lot. So to fill that up, maybe that's something I'll do next year. And then I was also able to build this one, and this was just a patch of lumpy grass, weedy grass at that. And so I basically just kind of, once I built it, I went around the outside perimeter with a shovel and just kind of marked the ground of where it was going to be and just flattened everything out, you know, turned all the soil, raked it and got it as flat as I could and even as I could, and then filled it up with that compost. And this is all I got. It's, I mean, that trunk load was pretty much this and what I used on the blackberry bushes. So there we have it. And then the third is going to go right here, and that's really small. I'm not even real sure what I'm going to put there, but I'm thinking probably just some herbs or something that needs full sun, but something I'm not real crazy about, you know. I got a lot of veggies that we don't normally eat in our regular rotation just to try out. So I might end up putting like something like the radishes or beets or something like that. I'm not real sure yet. And then I put one of the blackberry bushes, actually that's two of them, just in a bucket here. I don't know how well they do in containers, but I had more than I needed, and I kind of wanted to make sure I at least had one or two in a nice full sun area. And I know that I don't want it to actually be here, but until I figured out where I could put it, I just put them in this container. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the way this is coming along. Yeah, my garage is garbage. This thing needs to be torn down. But aside from that, this is coming along really good. And let me give you a little bit of a tour. I was checking out the fish situation, and it looks like we have probably 4 fish in there. Really good size. And so I'm happy about that. We were able to clear this area out pretty good the other day. I don't know if you remembered how it looked before, or if you watched the video. This was just a bunch of brush. And so we cleared that all out. Our fire pit is out of control. We are going to burn the whole neighborhood down with that. So we really just got the sitting area, which is this area over here. Not much grows there. It's so shady, and the ground is terrible over there. So that's just kind of more of a sitting area. We might be able to put like a few little things, or we could maybe do some containers, perhaps. That's what I've done in the past. Trimmed this down a bit. And I just want to show you one last thing before I go in, because it is getting cold out here, and I'm tired. But this is the compost. We started this, I think it's been just a little over a week, but look at that. I just threw this in today. But look at this. This is, I just turned it earlier, but this is looking a lot like compost to me. Poured a bunch of nitrogen-rich stuff, a lot of carbon stuff. I put in some actual compost, and I put in some, I don't know what you'd call it, but I'm trying to find a piece. But as I was digging up and cleaning some of the other parts, I found this, this kind of like rotting wood. I don't know if it was rotting necessarily, but it was definitely like this crumbly wood that was decomposing or whatever, and basically it looked like it was turning into compost in itself. And so I threw that in here because I figured it had a bunch of microbes, sorry. and bacteria and things like that that could help speed up the process. I also, whenever I found worms, I would just throw them in here as well. It's like, I was like, figured they'd like it. It's like, seems like a place you'd enjoy. And so I throw worms in there. And I've turned it probably twice since we started it. And yeah, look at this. So it's, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I think we're going to have a good turnout here. So I'm not sure. Like, I have been still throwing some things in here. I don't know if I should continue doing that now that it's starting to look pretty well broken down. So I may have to get a new garbage can on my next shopping trip. Tell them it's an emergency. It's an essential item. I need a new garbage can so that I can keep putting things in and getting more compost. But I'm really excited about that. You guys ever seen my canoe before? Woo! It's fun. I enjoy canoeing, but this is such a pain to get up on top of the car. It's really heavy. I can do it by myself, but it sucks. And renting a canoe, I find, is just so cheap and easy that I end up doing that more so than using that one. But I still like the concept, the idea that I have one. Technically, I'm a boat owner, you guys. I'm a boat. Yeah, so... All right, I think that's it for this little garden tour. I had a lot of fun today. No, fun's not the right word. That's not the right word. It wasn't fun. It was a bit exhausting. It was hard work, but it's very satisfying. How about I'll put it that way. I had a very satisfying day. Very busy day, very productive day. I love it when I have a productive day. And thanks for spending it with me. Like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos, if you learn something, if you like my pretty face, if you like my beautiful garden. Look at this place. I'm liking it. I'm a fan. I think we got a cool thing happening here. I don't know what the end result exactly is going to look like, but I think I'm going to name it Trailhead Gardens. That sounds cool to me. Or maybe Zombie Garden. I don't know. It's up for debate. I'll catch you guys in the next video.